Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Hubar begins now.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. Workers for Tasmania's largest mining company have walked off the job for the first time in the country's history as wage negotiations turn increasingly bitter. Employees at Grange Resources say their pay demands are fair, but the company says its offer is reasonable.
Demanding a mining giant dig deeper in wage negotiations.
Right, ready, right, ready.
More than half of Grange Resources workers have walked off the job over the contentious bargaining.
This action this weekend wasn't about a complete shutdown of operations. It was about sending a strong message that the workers have finally had enough.
The North West Company operates a magnetite iron ore mine at Savage River, with its processing plant at Port Latter producing more than 2 million tonnes of product each year. According to its annual report, Grange's after-tax profit in 2022 topped $171 million. Negotiations for a new enterprise bargaining agreement started late last year.
In a period of huge inflation and bill increase for families, like Grange Resources employees, the company offered 2%.
That offer's now at 5% for the first year of the deal, but the union says it's not good enough.
One shift this weekend would be enough to meet the workers' claims, but they're going to lose multiple shifts, and they're doing it because they don't like workers to get more.
Union members say they feared reprisals for speaking on camera, but told 7 Tasmania News that Grange's latest wage offer was an insult and amounted to a real wage cut. With Australia's inflation rate sitting at 7% and the cost of living spiralling, workers say they need more to keep up. Grange Resources says previous wage increases have been in line with CPI, adding its offer appears reasonable and is in line with industry benchmarks. But the union promises industrial action will continue.
This is a commencement of a program that will ramp up. The company at any moment is welcome to send us a revised offer.
Annie Green, 7 Tasmania News.
Community service groups and all levels of government have welcomed the completion of 15 new affordable housing properties in the northwest. But the state government has pointed the finger at vandals for holding up crucial housing projects and keeping families waiting for a home.
Opening the door to a better quality of life. 5 brand new supported living units and 10 social housing properties are almost ready for their new tenants, with state and federal representatives on hand for a first look.
This is my patch. I come from around this area, so it's lovely to see housing.
This is a Team Tasmania approach where you've had support from the federal government, state government and indeed the local council.
With a mix of 2 and 3 bedroom units, the social properties will have their first tenants by the first week in July, while the 5 disability support properties are expected to have residents by early August.
Like all Housing Choices developments, Tarleton Street was architecturally designed with quality and livability in mind.
This property allows a carer to live on site, but each resident will have their own independent space. Other units cater for those who just need a bit of support to those with higher needs.
The addition of social housing along with supported disability accommodation along with a community centre will bring the whole lot of this community of Devonport together.
But despite flagging record numbers for June, the Housing Minister says vandalism is taking much needed homes out of social stocks.
And I expect the rest of the community is incredibly disappointed when you have dozens and dozens and dozens of homes that have just been completed and have then been vandalised.
Hoping to unlock new housing possibilities. Annie Green, 7 Tasmania News.
After more than 50 years, a passionate footy umpire has called the final siren on his career. With 900 games under his belt, Colin Parry today stood between Caprona Football Club sticks for the very last time.
Waving the flags has been a lifelong commitment for Colin Parry.
I wasn't much good at playing, but I love footy.
He began umpiring in 1970, a passion which runs in his blood.
My father was a goal umpire. I had another brother who was a central umpire and a goal umpire and a boundary umpire, and 2 other brothers who run the boundary. So why not keep it in the family?
His commitment showing today, umpiring 2 games in one day. Today's shift full of emotion, both his 900th game and his last.
I'd love to do another 100 games, but my body's just not going to let me, so I'll call it quits at 900.
He's become an integral part of the club.
It's what makes a club. It's a huge achievement and we're proud of him.
A career packed with making judgments which were sometimes contested on and off the field. But
I haven't made a mistake yet, just read in Monday's paper.
An incredibly rare achievement packed with even more memories.
2006, I umpired every senior final, and also the grand final I umpired with my brother, which is the first time ever.
That was 2 records broken, and
I don't think there's anyone going to get close to 900 games either, so I've got the trifecta.
Talia Jordan, 7 Tasmanian News.
Launceston have avoided one of the greatest upsets in TSL history, holding off a fast-finishing Glenorchy. In other matches, Kingborough were too strong for Clarence. North Launceston thumped North Hobart, but at KG5, Launceston were made to work against a side who hadn't won since 2021.
On a muddy KG5, it would be the Magpies who would open the scoring. Launceston facing a challenge early on. The Pies were hot, but the Blues fought back. Some Jordan Cowell brilliance giving Launceston a 2-point half-time lead. When Launceston went into three-quarter time up by 10 points, they were expected to finish the job. Glenorchy had other ideas. Narrowing the margin to just a few points, a boil-over was on the cards. With seconds left, they had the chance to seal a famous win. It wasn't to be. The reigning premiers holding on, but only just. At Blunston Arena, 4 of the first 5 goals gave injury-hit Clarence a dream start against Kingborough. But the Tigers steadied and got their claws out. A blitz late in the first term had them in front at quarter time, on their way to 10 straight goals leading into the main break. That run stretching to 12 before the Roos finally broke it. The Tigers, though, were hot, brushing off last week's shock loss at Lauderdale with a 75-point victory. Clarence's injury list also growing, with Tyson Hanslow stretchered off. And at UTAS, North Hobart suffered an early bomber blitz. 8 straight goals from the home side, all but ending the game by quarter time.
That's okay though. What a fantastic goal!
The Demons finally hit the scoreboard, scoring just 1 goal in the first half. A slick North Launceston taking a 10-goal lead into half-time. The Demons restored some honour to the scoreboard in the second half, but it was all too late. The Bombers home by 65 points. John Hunt, 7 Tasmanian News.
Tasmania's under-16s have scored a thumping win over the Northern Territory at the Under-16 National Development Championships. The result sealed by half-time, with Tasmania kicking 10 goals to none in the first 2 quarters. The rout continuing after the main break as the boys cruised to victory. Tasmania winning 19-10, 124 to the Northern Territory's 1 goal for 10. Our boys' next match is on the Gold Coast against the Suns Monday week. In the NPL, Clarence have made it 3 wins on the trot with a big win over Launceston United. The Zebras taking less than a minute to open their account, with their newest recruit Riley Wishart getting the assist. He also found time to score a hat-trick on debut, giving himself a dream start for his new side. Clarence eventually winning 9-1. In the WSL, it was a different story for Clarence, going down 7-0 to Devonport. South Hobart defeated Kingborough 4-0, and a late goal helped Launceston United sneak past lowly Taroona 2-1. And Cripps, Waratah, Kingston and Devon all secured wins in the latest round of the TNL. The Northern Hawks, meanwhile, remain undefeated after downing the Cavaliers in the Launceston Derby last night. Starting with a 15-12 first quarter, the reigning premiers extended their lead at every change to record a 66-50 win. Ashmore once again on target for the winners, scoring 52 goals from 56 attempts. And in the NBL 1, the Launceston Tornadoes have just tipped off against Nunawading. Meanwhile, a final quarter blitz from the Spectres last night has the Hobart Chargers NBL 1 men's premiership defence hanging by a thread. The women's side had a much better night with a solid first half helping them to an 11-point win.
In a must-win game, Corey Coleman got the ball rolling for Hobart.
Around finds Coleman, she's just above the three-point line and knocks that one down as well.
It was a positive start for the Chargers as they jumped the Spectres in the first half. 2 big quarters gave them a healthy 14-point lead at the main break.
Baseline play. Looked a little confused out of the stacks. Bradley's not confused on the jumper though.
Nunawading, however, bounced back in the third, reducing the margin to just 4 points. Rachel Brewster leading the fight back.
Now inside is Pearce, saves that one. Outside again, Brewster rattles it home.
Hobart managed to find their touch in the fourth, Paige Bradley starring with 25 points.
Steindl holds that one there, and Bradley holds the gooseneck. And Paul Flynn wants time.
The 91-80 win, keeping Hobart's faint finals hopes alive. The men's match was a closer affair to start with.
Well, they are really pushing this offence.
Deb is from deep.
Oh.
Yes. No.
With their season on the line, Hobart found some of their best basketball in the second term. That good form had the Chargers on top with a quarter to play.
Richards with the fake. Richards. Oh, fake to Marcy.
But the final term was one to forget. Nunawading showing their premiership credentials in a final quarter blitz.
Now box. Tamasi one-on-one with Karina. Tamasi!
35 points to 18 in the final term, helping the Spectres win 100-90. John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
Good evening everyone. A foggy start with Hobart, Launceston and Burnie all reaching 14 degrees today and 13 in Devonport. The state's top today, 16 at Friendly Beaches, Flinders Island, Smithton, St Helens, Ouse and Strawn all 15, 13 in Low Head and just 6 in Laowini. Mostly cloudy skies can be seen across the state today with slightly less cloud in the east, while thunderstorms are seen about the northwest. Further out, high cloud and thunderstorms can be seen moving around a complex area of low pressure that is moving over eastern parts of the Bight, with some low cloud over the southwest of Western Australia. Tomorrow, a complex low can be seen to the southwest of Tasmania and Victoria, while a high pressure ridge sits from near Perth to Brisbane. And we'll see northwesterly winds tomorrow 25 to 35 knots, increasing to 30 to 40 knots in the afternoon, swells 3 to 5 metres in the west. And there is a gale warning current from Sandy Cape to St Helens Point and a strong wind warning for most other remaining coastal waters. A moderate flood warning is in place for the South Esk River and a minor flood warning for the North Esk River. Partly cloudy and 14 in Hobart tomorrow, 15 degrees in Richmond, Ouse 13 with a shower or 2. Showers in the north with Launceston reaching 12, 13 in Devonport, Deloraine just 10. 12 and showers in Burnie tomorrow, Strawn 13, windy and 13 in Curry. And looking at the east, 13 in St Helens, partly cloudy and 15 in Swansea and Whitemark reaching 14. On Monday, showers about the west, far south and Bass Strait Islands. Those showers continuing on Tuesday, however extending to the north. And on Wednesday, showers contracting to the west and far south in the afternoon. Showers in Perth and Adelaide tomorrow, Melbourne 13, 11 in Canberra, Brisbane and Sydney both sunny and 32 degrees in Darwin. And currently mostly cloudy and 9 degrees in Hobart, Launceston 10 and mostly cloudy and 11 in Devonport, and that's all in Saturday night's weather, Lou.
Wonderful, thank you very much for that, Chelsea. And that's all your news for now as well. Thank you for joining us tonight. We will see you again tomorrow. Have a lovely and safe evening. Good night.